What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. We are down here to discuss Love and Marriage Huntsville and the Real Housewives of Potomac. That gloss is was thick on my lips. I feel like when my damn lips was sticking together. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, let the diva know you stopped by. So yeah, we're down here. So I want to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville. I didn't take too many notes. I just took like who was going to be who was in the scenes, and hopefully I could try to remember what the scene was about, because I watched it Saturday night and I didn't make a video Saturday. So I was going to make it yesterday, but we got busy running errands and stuff and we got back too late, and I wanted to watch some other stuff, and I didn't want to rewatch Love and Marriage Huntsville again. So let's discuss it. Let me crack the windows. Okay, so overall it was an okay episode. We got to see Melody and Martell in co-parenting counseling, which was interesting to watch. Last season, or the end of mid-season, remember how they came back? It was weird, like it was part 2 of the second season. But I said that, it's a very interesting dynamic to witness two people with their situation and being able to witness it as they go through counseling. So shout out to them for doing that. Then I was like, wait a minute, them two niggas is narcissists. They would be here regardless. So, shout out to them for letting us peek into their life, but they love it. Melody too. Melody is, I was watching them in the parking lot of, after they got finished counseling, right? And they started talking about the situation with Chris. And, apparently Martell doesn't have his builder's license. And Chris doesn't have his builder's license either. Martell is upset with Chris because he went to Melody first. But from a business standpoint, the developers, they see Melody is the one who can actually get the job done. Melody is not. It's too thick. It is too thick. Melody is not a middleman. Melody is the man. She's the man with the builder's license, not what Martell can do. Chris could do the same exact thing that Martell is doing. Also, I think that, despite the world that we live in, it is I have this idea that we live in this world where men are allowed to, and it's more acceptable for men to be cheaters in their relationship, and for there to be forgiveness and reconciliation and redemption, whatever that looks like. And the relationship continues. I believe that Martell thought that he had an old school woman who was going to wait around for that, right? I believe that Martell, while it's socially acceptable for a man to cheat on a woman and be taken back, right, into the folds of the woman that he cheated on, business-wise, whether all of the men that are actually, the developers are cheating on their wives, nobody knows it. Nobody knows it, right? And what it looks like, right, when Martell said the other day that it's your mouth, that's the reason why y'all got divorced. It's your mouth. I wish that women would let men be men and women be women. And otherwise, you're going to end up with a weak man. From my vantage point, a weak man is someone who does not have self-control. A weak man is someone who does not have self-discipline. A weak man is someone who cannot control himself to the point where he cheats on his wife, not only cheats on her for half of the marriage, but creates a baby. And probably not the first baby he created. This is just the first baby homegirl decided to keep. Right? I hear a lot of people, we have this idea that men could just do whatever they want, right? But in reality, when it comes time to do business, Martell, you're not good for business, bro. You're not. You don't have any self-control, nor do you have any self-discipline. You don't have enough control to keep the business of your family running, let alone build some houses on 47 acres. Who we want to go with is the person who actually has the license and who can actually get started and who actually has a better story than you, right? Because we could put Melody Holt on a full-size poster out in front of these homes and say, Melody S. Holt built these homes, and have Malia in one hand and little Martell holding his hand on the side. Yes, this single mother built these homes. Guess what's going to happen? Them homes is going to be going up, bop, 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 because it's a good look. Business-wise, it's a good look. So while you might be mad at Chris because he wasn't following code, right? So he should have gone to you even though you were incapable of performing the job. Why? Because he's your friend. Okay, so as a businessman, what should have been Chris's better decision? You are Melody. As a businessman, if I go with you over Melody, what would be the smartest move for me to do as a developer? Huh? What would it be? To go with you or Melody? Oh, okay. Because that's what makes sense to me. That's what makes sense to me. Martell goes over Melody's house.
Oh man.
Okay, Usher. So not Marsau. Oh, Marsau and Misha are having a conversation. Misha? No, that's the girl from 702. Tisha. He's having a conversation with Tisha about, the family confronting him at the barbecue graduation party. And he was like, your brother came up to me and was talking about, like, I had an outside baby and this and that. He asked her, would she leave him if he had an outside baby? Did he ask her, would she leave him? She said, not only would I leave you, I would take you for everything you have. Don't play with me. You might end up dead, basically, is what she said. And knowing that family, they will help her hide the body, and everybody will act like they don't know what happened because they lie for each other. That's the family. They lie for each other. That's the code of ethics in that family. Hook or crook, we gonna lie. If you don't lie, when we tell a lie, if you don't fall along in line with us, you ain't family and you don't love us. By your actions, you showing you don't love us. Tisha, we've already said she's juvenile by the mind. She is. Like, congratulations, 2 masters. It's incredible, an incredible accomplishment. But you have a mind of a child, of a juvenile, probably 16 years old, right? And this idea that the family is supposed to go along with whatever lie that you told, and that shows loyalty by being able to lie. Misha, I don't know. Not Misha. I keep calling that girl Misha. LaTisha. Is that her name? Tisha, I don't know. And Marsau, while he has some comic relief, he ain't shit either. Don't let the smile with no teeth fool you. He ain't shit either, okay? And while I think he's funny, and sometimes he gives some really, really good advice, a broken clock, right? Sometimes he gives really, really good advice, and it sounds really logical, and it makes sense, especially when he's talking to his childish-ass wife. But she told him, yeah, I would leave you, and I would take you for every motherfucking thing you have, nigga. Try me. And my mama will get in on it, too, and my cousin Kiki, and my brother T-Man, and my uncle Father Time. I don't know, what was his, the cousin over there? Yeah. So, girl, that's a mess. Martell goes to Melody's house to get the kids. He picks up the kids. Melody meets him at the door. I don't blame him. He wouldn't be able to step foot in my motherfucking house. I tell you, he wouldn't be able to step foot in my house. No way. As far as she let him in, that was too far for me. It was too far for me. She tells him, let me talk to you for a minute. Yeah, the kids are getting ready. They're being fake. The pleasantries, right? She was like, let me holler at you for a minute. She takes him outside and she basically says, you're doing a lot of shit online. and we need to draw some boundaries. The IG post, while I do agree that's his page and he could do whatever the fuck he wants to do on his page, but I understand where, like a lot of y'all was in the comments, I understand where you're coming from. You chose the moment to announce that you have another baby, an outside baby, on a post about a child you created in, well, I was about to say within your marriage. The baby was created within the marriage, but they weren't at a good space within the marriage. But anyways, I don't have anything. That's neither here nor there. The fact is that you mentioned your outside baby on a post for your child. And that's not cool, right? I could see where Melody would be upset. But for me, I don't even think that Melody should be on his page. I think that she should have him blocked. I don't think she should be looking at his page. Let him do whatever, because at the end of the day, Martell is the fool. Martell is the court gesture. Martell is the clown. Martell is the chimpanzee with the symbols. Yes, he's the damn fool. That's what he is. So nothing you could do. Whatever he does, he's just going to keep looking stupid. Posting a picture, mentioning your outside baby. Trying to get these homes, and you don't even have your builder's license. You and Chris got to be over there and study groups and shit, which I think is great, but you don't handle your business. So I wouldn't even pay attention to nothing, because nothing he does, even walking into what's her name's place of business, trying to sell that product, you don't even have your shit together. You're not doing business well. I don't want you on the house doing houses for nothing. So anyways, Melody just basically says, you're acting like you can't come get the kids when it's time to come get the kids. And he was like, well, the same can go for you. You be saying you sick, and the next thing I look up, you're in Atlanta. So here's the thing, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. I used to call the Holts the Petties, right? Because together they were Mr. and Mrs. Petty. And I'm not talking about Nicki Minaj and Ken, Barbie and Ken over there. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the Holts, the Petty Holts. That's what their names are. And what's really fucked up, when you're partnered with a petty person, it's all fun and games when you going at Marsau and Tisha and Kimmi and Maurice. It's all fun and games when you're on the same team. But then when y'all on opposing teams, they still petty. They are still petty. The fact that she's sitting outside on a step, that's petty. Right? The fact that you clocking where somebody is, that's petty. The fact that you saying you can post this and don't mention my kid in this, that's actually really petty, because who is it hurting? Who is it hurting? The problem is, Melody, and I'm going to give you some advice. Clearly, you cannot control Martell Holt. Clearly. Hey, Ariane. Clearly, you can't control Martell Holt, right? He can't control himself, and you can't control him either. So trying to monitor and police what he does. Now, the only thing that I could say is if he's not picking kids up when he's supposed to pick kids up, just document it. Just document it. And that's all you have to do, because you can't control what he does. She leaves him outside. He tries to come back inside. Her mother, I was about to call her out her name because I don't like that. Let me tell you why. I have a story for you. When I had kicked the boy's father out, I was supposed to go out of town. I did not go out of town. I ended up staying in town. I did not leave. My mother came in town. My mother came in town because I was supposed to go out of town, but I did not go out of town. So because I did not go out of town, I went to work. Right? And so my child's father thought that I was at work, or knew that I was at work, and he had made a key to my house, right? Because I had asked for my keys back. He had made the keys to the house. He knocked on the door first. No answer. My mom figured that it was the UPS or FedEx, so she didn't answer the door. She said she jumped up when she heard keys and somebody trying to get into the house. and it was him. She said when he saw her face, he looked like he shit on himself because he was not expecting anybody in that house. Basically, he was breaking in my house. I don't know what he was going to do, but he used to do shit like go and destroy something and then put it back, and I would find it much later. That's the kind of abuse that I was dealing with, right? And he came in the house, and my mother allowed him in the house. She did not call me. She did not say, the boy's father is here. He wants to come in to get something. Because what I would have told her is, you go and get it and hand it to him. But no, what she did was let him in my house, and then he proceeded to walk in the room, and he took some papers that rightfully belonged to him, but he took some other shit too. And to this day, he will lie and say he didn't take it, but he took some jewelry. Oh yeah. He took some jewelry of mine. So I don't let no niggas in the house. We've been together or not. You can't come past the foyer, honey. You can't really, you shouldn't even be inside of my home at all, because this is the peaceful place here, and we're not letting people who like to terrorize and start wars in this sanctuary here. So I know what it's like, and I was triggered at that moment. She let him in the house, and she said, you've been acting funny online, and he was like, okay, like, had an attitude. That's why you can't let him in your house, because you see the exchange was already petty, right? And he says, well, there's some things that have been done to me too. And she says, you know what, Martell, it's okay, never mind. Because I don't even want to hear your shit, why stuff has been done to you, and that's the reason why you doing stuff to Melody. Be quiet. No. So she does like this, and he goes, hey kids, come on, it's time to go, because your grandmother is giving me the hand. The moment he said that, if I was Melody's mother, I would have said, get out. Wait for the kids. I'll send them out. Because there's that exchange right there, that energy should not even be in Melody's house at all. That energy, Martell's fucked up, narcissistic, entitled, self-absorbed, look at me energy should not have been allowed in that house. He should have been left on the porch to sweat. Yeah. That's why I was like, why she let him in there? And then when the baby's coming out, he was like, you're not going to disrespect me. Nigga, you disrespected this whole family. Don't get cussed out in front of your children, because I'm the right one. But as soon as he said it, hey kids, come on, your grandma's giving me the hand, I would have said, get out. Get out now, because that's the wrong energy, and that's the reason why you're not in this family anymore, and that's the reason you are at co-parenting counseling crying, because you realize, and as much as men say that marriage doesn't benefit them, look at Martell Holt and look at how he fucked his marriage up, and his life around him is in ruins. Yeah, because marriage does benefit him better than it benefits Melody. Melody doesn't have to be married. The developers are knocking on her door. You got the license? Now, if Martell and Melody were together, they would be going with Martell and Melody. Why? Not because of Martell, but because of Melody. They go to co-parenting counseling. He wanted to make sure he didn't have anyone biased. I've told you the story before. When it was time to go to counseling with me and the boy's father, he didn't want a woman. He didn't want a woman because he didn't want any woman. I don't want to feel like I'm being ganged up on. That kind of, that's the kind of nigga I don't want to feel like I'm being ganged up on. I don't want anybody who's biased. In other words, he doesn't want anybody to see the woman's side of the story. He wants to be able to sit in front of another man and be able to say, well, I mean, he's just a man being a man. That's what he is, He's just a man being a man, right? Remember that time when Quad and Toya were in the bathroom and Quad was crying about Greg and was like, why is he doing this to me? And Toya's response was, because he's a man, baby. Girl, what? So it's expected that you'll be treated a certain type of way, right? And that's why I really think that Martell was like thrown for a loop, that Melody actually divorced him, because you were still at home after it was proven that you had cheated on her. She still let you stay at home. But when the baby came, she was like, "Oh no, I can't do this." And what's unfortunate is if Martell didn't have a baby, him and Melody would still be together. That's what's really crazy. That's what's crazy about it, because it's acceptable. It's acceptable, and women have been conditioned socially to accept that and to see it as that's just a man being a man. The excuse for his ain't shit behavior is built into his existence. Y'all be looking at me crazy and saying that, oh, I'm anti-man, and no. The fact of the matter is that is what is going on in our society, and there's too many stories. Right? Because Chris's wife is sitting over there with him. Right? Because he cheated on her. Right? Marsau, we don't know. If you got 20 bitches or you got one hairstylist. If you got one. And Tisha is still sitting up there. And if Tisha finds out Marsau is cheating on her, she will stay. But if she finds out he has a baby, she says she's going to take him for everything he got. She didn't say she would stay. But look at Jackie Walters, an astute medical professional in the greater Atlanta area. Every celebrity goes to Atlanta and has Jackie Walters looking inside their cavity. Okay? And yet and still, when it comes to mending relationships, her husband, who is almost 7 feet tall, walking through an airport with another woman holding hands, and she took him back. Right? Okay. So from the high-end socioeconomic level, education level, down to the girl who got the GED, right? And the girl who and her man ain't got nothing, right? He can't even, nothing, no GED, no nothing. He doing the same thing. And she's being told the same thing. Man just gonna be a man. Man just gonna be a man. And I truly and honestly believe that Martell Holt thought that Melody was going to stay. And when she left and his world crumbled, because the word on the street is he ain't even fucking with Ariane anymore. Because the forbidden love is, everybody knows it now, and your wife left you, so it's not even fun anymore. I done made a baby with you, whatever, I'll take care of my kid, but this shit ain't fun, because I was sneaking around, right? And it's the being able to sneak around and not get caught, because that fuels the ego, right? I'm doing this. And really, like I said on Twitter the other day, these men, they really don't have to be careful cheating. Women have to be more careful. That's why they're like, women, they get away with cheating more. No, they have to be more careful, because when a man cheats, the expectation that the woman stays is going to be high. She's going to stay. The likelihood of her staying is high. But when a woman cheats, oh my God, you would think she shot the Pope, honey. Oh my God, right? She's not supposed to. That's why women have to be more careful. It's not that they don't get caught. They just have to be more careful, because they'll be like Cersei walking down the street hollering shame, 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 butt naked with a bitch with a bell behind you. Yeah. But when the nigga cheats, oh my God, girl, are you gonna stay, right? I mean, because you got everything. I mean, y'all got kids together and everything. Look at what's the lady's name? Contessa over there in that fucking Alice in Wonderland ass marriage, all fucking foggy and shit. She don't know what's going on, and you still sitting up there. Why? For what? What? Monster, it's time to work. Oh, Kimmi wants to be included in the conversations. That was so awkward. Hey, I just wanted to let you know I'm over here. Kimmi, girl, okay, Kimmi, I get it, Kimmi. You want to be included in the shit or whatever, but it's time for Monster to be a man at 14 years old. So he's going to start mowing lawns, he said. He's going to start mowing lawns. I was watching Family or Fiance, and I tell you, I just want to mention this because we are talking about like relationships and families and children and blended families and stuff like that, and step parents and co-parents and stuff like that. Oh, did you see when Martell started like to get emotional and Melody was trying to console him? See, she was like, it does hurt. No, Melody, I don't believe Melody is a performer, and she's been when I first saw Love and Marriage Huntsville and Melody was on the screen, I said, that lady is lying. I don't know what's going on between her and her husband, but she's sitting up there lying. I could tell she was lying. I could tell she was putting on a show. I could tell she painted on a face, a smiling face, and she's doing it again in their interviews. I was like, oh, this looks like the Melody, the Petty Holt that I know. Because they up there being fake again, smiling. Well, yeah. I mean, you didn't even trying to smile, trying to be the bigger person, trying to smile and all that other stuff. Anyways, on Family or Fiance, this man and this woman were getting together. This woman, a single mother, 2 older sons. I think one of the sons is 15, something like that. Anyways, the man comes in. New man in the house. He's an authoritarian, I should say, right? And that's the parenting style that he adopts or that he chooses to parent, right? Authoritative. So the boys don't respond to that because their mother isn't authoritative, naturally, right? She isn't. There are some moms who are, some moms who not, and then there are some mothers who are actively breaking generational curses and not parenting their children the way that they were parented because they realized it wasn't really beneficial for their overall well-being and how well they related to other people. So he came in on this super hyper masculine toxic shit, yelling at the boys, all of this energy that they were not used to. Taking doors off of the hinges to their bedrooms. We got to teach them boundaries. And the therapist said, you taking a door off the hinges is the opposite of teaching someone boundaries. Right? So when he was having a conversation, he realized that his children, the way he parented his children, he doesn't have the relationship with his children that he wishes he did. He feels like he did good at being a parent and being a father and being there, but he was a terrorist, right? And now you're coming into this new family with this woman with these 2 boys who she didn't parent like that, and she's allowing you to do it because you're the man, not knowing that his mother raised him, so he really doesn't know how to perform fatherhood. He thinks that being overly aggressive, overly authoritative, that's the way that you're a father. And some children are not nourished that way. They do not thrive that way, right? And so this woman had to learn, while you think you're letting this man be a man in your household, what he's doing is what he did to his own kids, and he's now doing them to your kids, and you are allowing it for the sake of him being the man of the house. You have allowed this man to take your child's doors off the frame, off the hinges, because you want to teach them boundaries when it is absolutely the opposite of teaching boundaries. What you're doing is letting them know that when it comes to you, they are not and they cannot have any boundaries. They have to allow you to just be all up in their space, right? Just like the little girl on the phone with her father, right? She's telling her father, hey, I don't want to talk to you. And you're bulldozing your way past her boundaries that she's created for you. You're not teaching her boundaries. You're teaching her that you can do whatever the hell you want to her. And this woman was allowing this man to come in and do that because she felt like, okay, now I have a man in the house, right? And I'm sure a lot of single mothers, I'm sure this happens to a lot of, I have a man in the house now, and so I'm going to let him perform fatherhood with my children. But now he comes in with, well, my kids, they turned out okay. My kids turned out okay. And his child, I think that was his child on Family or Fiance, he looked like he had a lot of mental issues. Like he was like he was unable to regulate his emotions, right? He didn't look like he could regulate his emotions well. So I don't know if that came from the man's parent. I don't even know if that man was his parent. I don't know if that was his brother or whatever. But basically, when the woman said he took the door off the hinges, the other family came over and they were like, he took the door off the hinges. That's not right. And she was like, what's wrong? The mother, his mother, right? What's wrong with that? Ain't nothing wrong with taking the door off the hand. Oh, so that's where you learned it from. You learned that no boundary shit from your mom, right? You didn't even have a dad. You learned this no boundary shit from your mom. You took this idea of what you think fatherhood is supposed to look like, and it's this imbalance performance of masculinity to the point where you've become a terrorist to these children, and this woman is allowing you to do it because now I have a man in the house to help me with these boys, and all he's doing is ruining them like he ruined his own children. And that man sat there and he cried because it snapped for him. He was like, oh my God, I can't believe it that I'm doing it to another set of kids. It was refreshing to see a man actually the light bulb go off and be like, God damn it, I'm doing it to my children. Even though what I did to my children, I don't think I did anything wrong, but you can tell by the way that the relationships that you don't have with your children, that you absolutely were wrong in how you parented them. And so now you're bringing this over and you're fucking up 2 more kids that don't even come from you. And this woman is sitting here letting you do it because she wants to get married. But he realized it. That was the beauty of it. Martell, he ain't even realizing, like, you got a divorce because of your mouth. No. You got a divorce because Arian put her mouth on your dick and you put your dick in Arian's vagina. It was all she wrote. And now we have a little baby, 1 more to go. Right? But this man if you haven't seen Family or Fiance, the last episode, when the light bulb clicked for that man, I was just like, now he can. One thing I'm telling you, men as a whole, as a collective, must do when they make mistakes is reflect. And that's one thing they don't have to do. Why do I have to reflect on the wrongs that I've done? Why do I have to self-correct what I've done? Because nobody is going to correct me. I'm going to sit around other men and they're going to be okay, and men just going to be men. You have other women who are just going to be like, girl, that's just what men do. And then you have the people who are like, no, you cannot act like this. You were wrong. And they don't want to talk to those people. They want to be in a community where there's no accountability. But when it finally clicks, do you know how much our society would change if more men would self-correct and self-reflect and realize, like, hey, you know what? I fucked up. I really did. But you can't tell a man that in our society. You can't tell him I don't want to hear it. I fucked up. What are you talking about? I'm a motherfucking man, nigga. I ain't fuck up shit. I didn't do shit. My kids turned out okay. They turned out okay. You don't want to do yelling in the house. And what I also learned for that lady is when you stifle your emotions in front of your children, that's what you're teaching them to do when they come across a scenario that's similar. And they will. Right? Unfortunately, we have children, adult children, that have never seen neither one of their parents cry because their parents got to be strong. But guess what you're teaching your child? You're also teaching them not to access or not to have a healthy relationship with their emotions. And the only emotion that they can access is anger. Yes, little Martell has a problem with his dad because he saw his mother crying. She should not hide her crying. She should show that what your dad did, whether you like it or not, he hurt mommy. Yeah, he did. He hurt me, and because he hurt me, I'm sitting in the closet on the floor with a damn blanket over my head sobbing because my life is fucked up. That's probably what she thought at the time. But now she's moved past that. But at the time, allow these people to have their emotions. Why? I don't want you yelling in the house. You know why I'm yelling at you? Because you out sticking your dick in other bitches, nigga. So I have a right to yell at you, and I have a right to access my emotion. I am not going to stifle my emotion because there's a child listening. What you should have done was not bring that shit into our house. That's how that works. I would never ask you back. Martell, you call me all the time asking me back. Don't play for these cameras right here. That's what we gonna do? Okay, Martell. Anyways, y'all, I said I wasn't going to be long, but I threw in some other stuff. We'll cut it down. We'll see what's up. Anyways, take care of each other. Protect your energy. Peace.